Welcome back. Today we join a craftsman taking on a monumental task, framing and sealing a heavy timber cabin before the weather turns. He begins by hoisting a massive horizontal truss into position. Using a chain hoist allows a single person to manage loads that would normally require a full crew. Raw pine logs must be thoroughly debarked before use. Removing the outer layer prevents rot and keeps moisture from trapping against the heartwood. With a scribe tool, he transfers the exact profile of the lower log onto the new timber. This ensures a flush joint that relies on gravity and friction rather than just hardware. The final shaping is done by hand. Plumb lines are critical at this stage. A vertical post that sits even slightly out of level will multiply that error all the way to the peak of the roof. The chain hoist provides micro-adjustments to find perfect center. As the afternoon progresses, the heavy lifting continues. Moss serves as a natural, breathable insulator. Packed between the logs, it expands with moisture to block wind drafts perfectly. To lock the diagonal beams, he drives a wooden dowel deep into the joint. Wooden pegs share the same expansion and contraction rate as the surrounding timber. As the seasons change, the entire frame will shift and settle as one unified structure, rather than tearing itself apart against rigid metal fasteners. Metal brackets are added where shear strength is paramount. These hidden connectors fortify the intersection of the truss against heavy snow loads. Every cut requires careful planning with a wooden square and chalk line. In heavy timber framing, there is no margin for error. A miscut log cannot simply be patched. For the main vertical supports, the builder uses a traditional hand auger. This bores a clean, wide channel deep into the end grain without splitting the wood. It is slow, methodical work that demands physical endurance. But it guarantees a structural bond that modern power tools often struggle to match at this scale. Driving wooden pegs requires a precise touch. The pin must be slightly oversized to create friction, but not so tight that it splits the rafter. When driven flush with a mallet, the wood fibers compress and lock. This creates a joint that can last for centuries. The roof skeleton is now a rigid, load-bearing grid. With the heavy structural grid complete, the work shifts to the roof deck. He pulls a taut string line across the rafters. This establishes a perfect horizontal plane, correcting any minor deviations in the raw logs. Light-colored pine boards are planed smooth before installation. These will form the exposed interior ceiling of the cabin. Hammering them down locks the rafters at a fixed distance, adding crucial lateral stability to the frame. Board by board, the open canopy is closed off. The rhythm of the hammer becomes a constant echo in the forest. Viewed from below, the decking reveals the true scale of the space. The light pine provides a stark, clean contrast to the massive, dark rafters. This layer creates a solid substrate for the waterproofing and insulation to come. A cabin is not just a shelter, it is a piece of craft. He shapes a scalloped pattern into the fascia boards using a handsaw. These edges will define the roofline. To protect the soft pine from weathering, he applies a deep penetrating finish. This seals the end grain, which acts like a sponge for rainwater if left exposed. A heavy waterproof membrane is rolled out across the entire deck. Stapled tight, this layer is the primary defense against the elements. Even under a metal roof, condensation can build up and drip downward. This breathable barrier ensures moisture escapes outward while keeping the timber dry underneath. Moving into the next phase, he treats the exterior trim using fire. Passing a blowtorch over the surface creates a layer of carbon on the wood. This traditional charring technique makes the board highly resistant to insects, rot, and even future fire risks. The carbonized cells act as a natural, chemical-free armor. Placed along the roof edge, it provides both a durable shield and a striking dark contrast. Days of preparation culminate in the final exterior shell. A grid of wooden battens has been laid over the membrane to provide an air gap. This ventilation space prevents heat buildup from warping the roofing material during the summer. The builder hauls the first heavy sheet of dark metal to the peak. Getting the first panel perfectly square is vital, as it dictates the alignment of every sheet that follows. He fastens the panels using specialized screws with rubber gaskets. As the drill drives them in, the rubber compresses to form a watertight seal against the metal. The overlapping design channels rain directly into the gutters, leaving no exposed seams. Slowly, the vulnerable wood is completely shielded. The final sheets slide into place. Dark metal absorbs solar heat, helping to melt away heavy snow and ice during harsh winters. It is a lightweight, low-maintenance cap on top of a massive traditional foundation. The cabin is finally weather-tight. With the roof sealed, attention turns back to the details. He refines the scalloped edges of the wooden trim with a small hand axe. Working the wood with a blade rather than sandpaper leaves clean, sealed pores that resist moisture. A final pass with the blowtorch deepens the char, turning the soft pine into a hardened exterior barrier. The charred trim is nailed securely along the roofline. Beneath it, a perforated metal strip is installed along the edge. This vent keeps pests out while allowing air to circulate freely beneath the metal roof panels. Proper airflow is the key to preventing trapped moisture from rotting the decking from the inside out. A final coat of oil locks in the carbonized finish. The work is done. Inside, the wood stove is fired up to cook a well-earned meal. In the end, structure, landscape, and daily routine operate as one system. This is a place built by hand to produce, protect, and sustain itself. A quiet shelter against whatever winter brings.